Ooh, baby. This one's going to be deep. We're going to be talking about the purpose of life. Well, what I think the purpose of life is. So if that's something that interests you, just stay to the end of the video. It'll be a quick one like always. But with that being said, let's jump into it. Life, absolutely tricky. So weird. We do not know what happens before or after. And for most of us, we don't even know what happens in the middle. Life is such a bizarre concept to wrap your head around. We are living in this galaxy filled with black holes, with other galaxies filled with black holes and other galaxies. But we're told we're the only people on this planet. But it's very unlikely we are because, well, the universe is infinite, which means there's either one possibility only, that means we're the only ones ever, or there's infinite amount of life. And I choose to believe there's infinite amount of life. But then it goes back into, you know what, we're getting too deep. So before I talk about something that bans me from YouTube, let's talk about the purpose of life. In my opinion, just my opinion, I'm a YouTuber, remember that. I think the purpose of life is to set up the next generation to be better than your generation. Because if we're constantly getting better, who could be mad at that? That's how I want to die. I want to be able to look back and say, hey, I made the next generation better instead of destroying it. You see a lot of older people saying, oh, my generation was the best and your generation's full of shitheads and this and that. But it's like, who raised us? You did. So are we the shitheads or are you the shitheads that we just mirrored? Deep. I also believe life is way more deeper than going to work every day and making money and just staying afloat. I think we're supposed to be consciously more aware than what we are because of the systems that have been in place. In fact, I actually think we went backwards from like the Great Pyramids and those times, because someone please try to explain to me how they made all these pyramids perfectly and these sculptures perfectly, and they never had no power tools, no cranes or anything of that nature. And it's like, now we can't even get along because a Happy Meal should have the option to be sad. And I get it, everybody has a valid opinion, but nowadays everybody and everything is so sensitive, and that's fine. Again, everybody has their own opinion, but I do think we went backwards. And what I mean by that is, if we were to move forward, we would be in a more conscious space of helping everyone become better. We wouldn't be in this rat race of pulling everybody down to make more money or trying to jug somebody else because we need to make more money or we want a higher status or we want a faster car or whatever it is. If we were to move forward, we would slowly detach from materialistic things and our egos and the statuses that we want to obtain, because essentially none of that really matters. In 2025, the new 2022 Lamborghini is going to be old. Like, I really, truly, deep down inside believe we are supposed to take care of ourselves, take care of the people around us, focus on purpose, focus on health, focus on building something greater than what we are right now, focus on passing the torch over, and hopefully they build the same. See, right now, all it is how much money can you make in your life and how much money can you leave to your next generation, which is not bad, but you're not teaching them how to fish. You're giving them the fish. We need to teach people how to fish, and not just for money, for happiness, for fulfillment, for consciousness. But see, when we go to school, we find X and we learn about fake history. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. Everybody knows he didn't. How come they haven't changed it? The school system is like this. They don't teach you how to balance your checkbooks. They don't teach you about taxes. They don't teach you how to buy your first home. They don't teach you about any of this stuff. Why? Because they don't want you consciously awake to make decisions for yourself. They want you to fall in line, spend all your money, and depend on them. We are going backwards. Just my opinion. I think life is special. I really do. I think a lot of people take life for granted because, say you live in America and people are like, oh, my life is so hard. It's so hard. My check was late for 4 days. And it's like, most of Americans have homes, clean water, food, clothes, transportation, opportunity, and this is just America. So does the United Kingdom and Canada and most other countries. I mean, some countries are kind of, if they complain because they don't have it as good as other countries. But when people start complaining and saying, oh, life is unfair and it's rough and it's hard. And for me, I just want to say, like, take a step back. Really ask yourself if you really mean this, because most of the time you probably have somewhat of a loving family, somebody that loves you around you, somebody that's helping you, or, maybe a job or a car or clothes or any of that nature. And those are blessings. Life is a blessing. I mean, really think about it. If trees were not around, we would be dead. And if gravity was not the perfect balance, it would be floating in space or killed. Nobody thinks about that. Nobody is conscious enough to really sit back and say, wow, life is actually really good. But that's why I'm here. I want you to see life is way deeper than just going to work, making money, coming home, eating dinner, and falling asleep. There's so much more to life. And anybody can experience this, but you have to be willing to be uncomfortable and push yourself, because we get stuck in this system, what they've put us in, of depression, anxiety, stress, and everything else. And we're formed off habits that they have groomed us into. So you have to reform yourself and rewire yourself to fit what you want. It's uncomfortable, but it's possible. And that's the best thing about that sentence. It's possible. But again, this is just my opinion on the purpose of life. You guys let me know what you think the purpose of life is in the comments, and we will talk about it. Nobody's right. Shit, we don't even know if there's a or we're all just guessing. And I could be way wrong. I could be. Sometimes I am, and I'll admit it. But you let me know what you think. I'm open to that conversation all day long. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. My name is Derek, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.